Open-world survival games have captivated gamers for over a decade. While many love the ability to explore vast environments, having to craft shelter, weapons, and food creates a different level of excitement. Unsurprisingly, tons of gamers have taken to the genre, making it one of the most successful around. Since the genre started growing, a ton of great titles have been released on PC and console alike. While it's not the easiest genre to develop for, a surprising number of them have been quite good. However, a handful of them stand over the rest as must-plays in the open-world survival landscape. Dune Awakening was a bit of a surprise in 2025. Few people were expecting anything out of a Dune game, especially after learning it was entering the crowded open-world survival game landscape. Yet Awakening quickly established itself as one of the most fun experiences that year, especially for people who love playing with friends. Set in a world where the Atreides family is eradicated, Dune Awakening is shockingly accurate to its source material, making it a blast for people who know the lore. Yet even without it, the combat and crafting are addictive, and players will quickly find themselves working to adapt themselves to the deserts of Arrakis. One of 2026's first success stories is StarRupture, which was released in early access at the start of January. The title invites players to work solo or in co-op to survive a planet full of resources and danger. Everything from monsters to the climate tests the player, forcing them to create resource extraction systems that can aid in their survival. Though it's in early access currently, the game has already received a very positive rating on Steam, making it likely opinion on the game will only get better over time. There's an entire host of features coming to the game before it hits 1.0, yet it's already an enjoyable experience just with what's on offer. The game already has satisfying combat, something far too many survival games lack. RuneScape Dragonwilds was one of the most pleasant surprises of 2025. A literal surprise even, as it was shadow-dropped on Steam at the end of April and quickly found an audience. Though it was a massive shift from the controversial release of old-school RuneScape, it still offered a captivating experience for fans of the open-world survival genre. Being in early access doesn't hold Dragonwilds back from being an experience that most full-release games can't hold up to. Players have to balance their time between collecting resources and building a home for themselves, while also trying to avoid the ever-present threat of powerful dragons that can wreak havoc at any moment. Valheim is for everyone who likes their survival games with a Viking-inspired aesthetic. The game drops players into the 10th world, where players will have to battle against enemies to earn their way into Valhalla. Valheim has a number of different biomes, each boasting a new dangerous boss for players to defeat, proving themselves to Odin. It became an instant success when it launched, with fans pulled in by Valheim's gorgeous art design and addictive exploration. Because it has a procedurally generated world, players can create new experiences by creating new characters, creating a title that never gets old. Especially since Iron Gate is still adding to it 3 years after its release, meaning there's still more content for players to see. Not many games are capable of offering an experience quite like Ark. Its combination of dinosaurs and sci-fi makes for a world where players can ride dinosaurs like steeds while wielding futuristic weaponry. And thanks to the game's premium mods, they can even bring cool characters like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers into their worlds. Of course, Studio Wildcard rebuilt Ark Survival Evolved into Survival Ascended back in 2023, rebuilding it in Unreal Engine 5 to create a complete edition of the game. With that change, Ark not only got a graphical upgrade, but they added in plenty of quality-of-life updates and even the ability to go cross-platform. Best of all, Ark Survival Ascended includes all the game's different expansions, meaning players have access to potentially hundreds of hours of story content. To many fans, Rust is the ultimate open-world survival game. Its description not only describes the game, but its main appeal. Everything wants you to die. Do whatever it takes to last another night. To the most hardcore survival fans, Rust has truly mastered the idea of man against everything.
Rust sees players dropped onto an island with no resources and forces them to cobble everything together. Everything from weapons to shelter can be found or crafted, allowing for a natural yet lengthy system of progression. Anyone but the hardcore need not apply though, as Rust is unforgiving even at the best of times, leaving it locked at the 5th place spot.
There's nothing quite like Terraria out there. While open-world survival games are common, most of them aren't 2D and pixel-based. Still, there's a reason that Terraria has survived for well over a decade, remaining one of the most popular games on Steam. Relogic doesn't allow the technology in Terraria to hold them back, instead taking advantage to provide a world where nearly anything the player imagines is possible. Within Terraria, players are free to spend all their time either digging around for great fortune or setting out on dangerous adventures to fight powerful bosses. The only limits or rules on the player are the ones they set for themselves.
Obsidian Entertainment went way outside their usual comfort zone to create Grounded, and it paid off for everyone. The game harkens back to 90s comedy classic Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, as it features a group of children who are shrunk down and lost in the backyard of a suburban home. Grounded was already a great title when it was released, but it's gotten even better over time. Additions like story modes and third-person perspective just widened the number of potential players, resulting in the game growing in popularity over time. While survival games are a dime a dozen these days, none of them can capture the childhood feeling of a backyard being an entire world like Grounded. Enshrouded received a ton of positive fanfare when it was released in early access a few years back. The title takes place in a world where humanity was nearly wiped out by a powerful shroud that corrupts all life it touches. As the Flameborn, it becomes the player's job to beat back the shroud and help the world finally recover. Playable in co-op or solo, Enshrouded is the ideal survival game and one of the best open-world action RPGs. It captures the vibe of struggling to gather resources to keep going, but without ever feeling too oppressive. Meanwhile, its voxel-based world allows players to construct anything they like, whether it's cozy hobbit homes or kingdoms the size of a city.
The existence of No Man's Sky is proof that developers really can turn a game's reception around. When No Man's Sky launched, it fell short of most of the pre-launch promises made by its developer, Hello Games. While it provided an infinite galaxy to explore, just visiting a few planets quickly revealed that infinity looked the same in most places, resulting in mixed reviews. However, Hello Games refused to quit and kept adding to what the game could do. They expanded the game's lore, the story, adding new ships and mecha, even deadly pirate fleets. At this point, No Man's Sky is the ultimate roleplay experience for space opera fans, as players can do nearly anything within the world.